According to this filing, the DOJ and the FBI agents plan to bring standard issue weapons, ammunition, handcuffs, and medium and large-sized bolt cutters. They were also instructed to wear unmarked polo or collared shirts and to, quote, keep law enforcement equipment concealed.
We're going to take a look at the use of force policy that was in place during the raid of Mar-a-Lago. The first thing I want to say is obviously this was a political raid, and that is evident by the fact that they raided Donald Trump's home in Florida, whereas Joe Biden, for his classified documents, was not raided and was not charged for classified documents that he had in his house for 40 or 50 years by his own admission. Now, the political raid of Mar-a-Lago has been around a while and much discussed, but it's back in the news over the use of force policy that was in place.
President Trump calling out President Biden after learning that his administration authorized the use of deadly force during the FBI's 2022 raid on Mar-a-Lago during the classified documents probe. According to this filing, the DOJ and the FBI agents plan to bring standard issue weapons, ammunition, handcuffs, and medium and large-sized bolt cutters. They were also instructed to wear unmarked polo or collared shirts and to, quote, keep law enforcement equipment concealed.
As you can imagine, the reaction from Trump and many of his supporters was that they were trying to take him out.
Joe Biden was locked and loaded, ready to take me out and put my family in danger. That's how a new Donald Trump fundraising email read. It came shortly after newly unsealed documents revealed the FBI was authorized to use deadly force if necessary in the raid on his Mar-a-Lago home.
If they were looking for a serial killer who they thought was hiding there, yeah, it's maybe a little different. But they were looking for a box of documents.
Arizona Republican Congressman Paul Gosar said on social media Biden ordered a hit on Trump. Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene posted the Biden DOJ and FBI were planning to assassinate President Trump. And in his official account on Truth Social, Trump posted that Biden is a serious threat to democracy and mentally unfit to hold office because of the authorization.
Attorney General Merrick Garland and the FBI both defended this and said it was standard practice.
On that one, that allegation is false, and it is extremely dangerous.
Of course, Garland has a very personal stake when it comes to this case.
First, I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly.
And then the usual propaganda networks defended the government and their policies.
This is a song we've heard before. Trump saying wild, implausible and dangerous things that then put people in harm's way.
Granted, Donald Trump's campaign has used lies without any shame, without flinching or blinking, to mobilize and animate and energize its supporters on a daily basis, as easily and frequently as the rest of us breathe. But believe me when I tell you that this time it's different. Disinformation of a stripe and variety that goes well beyond the size of his crowds or his golf scores. A dangerous lie this time.
Donald Trump's complaining about how in an affidavit or procedurally they had the authority to use deadly force. Join the club. You're just like any other citizen.
My response to that comment is two things. First, the point he's trying to make about Donald Trump being treated like every other citizen. So when you have the DOJ and the FBI raiding the political opponent of the current president, you can't just sit there and say, well, he's being treated like everyone else. Anyone else in this situation would have not had their home raided. The second point is, I would argue that no matter who's involved, there is no scenario where the FBI would need to use deadly force in order to retrieve documents.
Deadly force. Does that mean that Joe Biden was authorizing the FBI to if it came to that and he resisted arrest, it would be okay to kill Donald Trump?
That's what it seems, and I think what's troubling.
What does deadly force mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what it would mean. If you were in danger, you can use deadly force. What I find really surprising is the FBI saying they're using standard procedure. Well, this is a former president of the United States under Secret Service protection. Maybe you shouldn't use standard procedure. Maybe you go, if it was even necessary to get a warrant, you go there and you execute the warrant in the lightest way possible, and you juxtapose that with the way Biden was treated basically like a child when he's caught with classified documents. Instead of immediately doing a search warrant, they let him just bring them, repeatedly bring them to the FBI at their convenience. There was no search warrant. There was no agents running in. And even though they knew Biden never had any business having these documents, trickled them out at a very suspicious time, and they kept finding more and more of them, and they treated them quite a bit differently. So the FBI really, it's like the most heavy-handed approach with Donald Trump and the lightest possible touch with President Biden. And we see that with the recommendation. One is to charge, and one is to basically, we don't charge because Biden is an infirm and feeble man that, basically is not competent, which is scary in and of itself.
But this is so extraordinary. Over and over again, we see that the Democrats charge the Republicans with things that they are actually doing. And this happens over and over again. Now, the FBI and the Democrats keep saying things like Trump is a threat to democracy, but Biden is authorizing deadly force against his political opponent.
We have some breaking news this hour. Jack Smith, the special counsel, has new filing in the Mar-a-Lago documents case. In it, special counsel Smith asks the federal judge overseeing this case, that's Judge Aileen Cannon, to bar former President Trump from making statements that endanger law enforcement.
I think that all government is a waste of taxpayer money.